Good morning everybody and welcome back to I Loaf You. Today we are going to make a basic white bread. So I just want to give you a heads up. We are not sponsored today by any of the companies whose products we are using. I just want to make sure that I let you know exactly what we're using so that if you want to recreate it, then you can. So we want to start with 2.5 ounces of sugar in our mixing bowl, and to that we are going to add our yeast and our warm water. So what we're using today, I have Star Bake Rustic blend of yeast, which is specifically designed for breads. You can get it online, look it up. You can also request a sample directly through their website. Just want to cut that open. And to our sugar, we are going to add 1 5/8 ounces. I know this is a little difficult if you don't have a scale. There's a little solid in the packaging here. But again, that's 1 5/8 ounces. Right, now that we have that all set in there, we want to take warm water. You don't want to do hot water because you don't want to kill your yeast. But we will take 1 pound and 4 ounces. So we'll now take a nice whisk. And you want to whisk these together. Alright, now to our yeast and water and sugar, we are going to add our flour. We are adding 2 pounds of flour. We use King Arthur flour. It is, the specific brand type we're using is Sir Galahad. It's a great bread flour or all-purpose flour. You don't want to overmix it if you're using it for cakes, but it does work very well for breads. So now on top of that, we are going to add our vegetable oil, which is 1 3/8 ounces, which is not very much. Just keep that in mind. Now we're going to pop right over to the mixer and just mix this up. At this point, we're going to stop our mixer. We are nice and blended. We aren't too sticky, just a little bit. And then we'll lower the bowl and just pull this off. Alright, at this point I have removed the dough hook from the bowl, and I am just going to cover this with a plastic plate to keep the heat in while we prepare hot water for proofing. This next step, you can either use a proof box or put the dough in your oven with a pan of boiling water set into the bottom on the bottom shelf, or the less sanitary option, but again it's an option, you can put your dough into the pans and take a very hot shower. Just put it in the bathroom somewhere covered and you can take a very hot shower. Will also help the dough rise quicker. Again, not the most sanitary of options since it would be in your bathroom. But again, you do have options. So we will get our hot water going. I will be using a proof box today. But once that is hot, heated up, then we can get our dough into our bread pans and get started. Alright, at this point here, I have let our dough sit and rise a little bit and just rest. So we want to take a little bit of bench flour, which is, it's honestly just the same flour we just used. Dump it onto our working surface and just spread it around a little bit. And we need to pull our dough from the pan, or from the bowl, just out onto our table. I always make sure that I put water right into the mixing bowl, just because I don't want the dough to dry in that mixing bowl. So at this point we just have it coated with a little bit of flour, and we will divide this into 2 even pieces. You can weigh it or just eye it, and we want to put it into 2 normal sized bread pans. And we will get it in to rise. So on top of my loaves, I am just going to spray a tiny bit of pan spray. You can egg wash, you can put a little oil on top, you can spray some water. I am doing the pan spray today on mine, just so that they get a nice chewy coating on the outside, and it should look nice and shiny. Should. No promises there. But now you want to just cover these with a towel if you are putting them in the oven with boiling water in the bottom. If you are doing that, don't turn the oven on. Or, if you're doing the shower thing, you can always cover them with plastic wrap as well. However, we are putting ours into our proof box. Oh, maybe. Okay, pardon that interruption. Now we will put them into the proof box. It appears that our pan was just a little too big for the proof box. Things like that happen to the best of us. But now we will let those rise, and I will show you before we put them in the oven. Alright, our dough has risen. It's just above the tops of the pans. So we are going to open up our oven. I want to stick it on the top shelf so it doesn't rise too far and hit the bottom shelf. Our oven is at 350 degrees and we will put it in for probably a good 15-20 minutes, then check it. Alright, so after 15 minutes we checked the breads. They weren't quite done. You want to tap the top and you can hear that it's sort of hollow. So we left them in for another 5 minutes, so they've baked for about 20 minutes. And we pulled them out and they look great. We will slice them after and show you. We have to let them cool completely first, that's all.